Today, the Cn100 High School Game of the Week comes to you live from the South Side. We're at Gately Stadium for this 8A semifinal matchup. It's Glenbard North against Mount Carmel. Hello, everybody. Jim Blaney along with Kenny McReynolds. And when you talk about Glenbard North, here's a team that got into the playoffs, Kenny, at 5-4. But really, considering the league they come from, the DuPage Valley, which has 3 teams playing this weekend, maybe not so much of a surprise that they're here.
Well, it's not a surprise that they're here, Jim. They were a 4-team seed, but this team has peaked at the right time.
Speaking of not surprised, Mount Carmel comes into this game as they usually do. They're playing the weekend before Thanksgiving with yet another shot at going downstate and winning another state championship.
Well, it's no surprise that Mount Carmel is here. They're undefeated. A lot of people think they'll win it all. No surprise, the Caravan looking to go back to Champaign.
All right, so for Glenbard North, one more win and they get a chance to go downstate and play for a state championship. Last weekend when they won in the quarterfinal round, Evan Watkins, their quarterback, was a big reason why, not only throwing for touchdowns, but running for them as well.
Well, Jimmy, he's unbelievable. He threw for 3 touchdowns last week, but he also ran for 2. This young man can throw the ball 40 yards in the air on the run with both feet in the air. He has a strong arm. He's thrown for over 1,700 yards and 17 touchdowns.
And quarterbacking will be the story for Mount Carmel today as well. Jordan Lynch, their quarterback, Kenny, a guy who he seems to adapt well to what they need. They need him to throw, he throws. They need him to run, he can pick up first downs and touchdowns running as well.
Right, you know, Jim, he could beat you both with his arm and his leg. This young man didn't have any yards in the air passing last week, but they won the game. He's only completed 60 passes this season, but 15 of them for touchdowns.
Moving the change will be a key element of this game for both quarterbacks. It's a underdog somewhat Glenbard North team coming in against an undefeated Mount Carmel squad. We'll have the starting lineup and the opening kickoff when we come back live from Gately Stadium on the Cn100 High School Game of the Week.
Get to the point that they're at. Mount Carmel started the season in the Catholic Blue, of course, where all 5 teams made the state playoffs. A little bit of a surprise that they were able to run the table. As far as Glenbard North, they lost 3 of their first 5 games this season, but that's a little misleading. 2 of those losses were to teams that are still alive right now. Naperville North, of course, won last night, already advanced, and Wheaton Warrenville South will be playing a little bit later today for their right to advance to Champaign as well. Head coach Ryan Wilkins said that it's really a case of them coming together, playing their best football at the right time of the season. You already know about Evan Watkins. He's their 6'6" quarterback. What you're going to see them do offensively is put the ball on the ground, try and run some play action, and really use the pass when they think it's most appropriate. Guys, back to you.
You have finality to your season, but if you drop this game, you spend the whole winter saying, boy, if we could have only won this game, could we have become a state champion? Here are the referees for today's game. Referee is Joseph Eldon, line judge Ralph Stevens, back judge John Anderson, and then Jim Perkins and William Sherlock round out our officiating crew. Glenbard North won the toss. They deferred. Mount Carmel will take the ball to begin the opening half of football. They will go with the win, Kenny.
And Jim, if this rain picks up, I'm curious to see how this would affect Watkins. Let's face it, he likes to throw the ball. Well, of course, Mount Carmel, they love to run the ball. They don't rely so much on the pass as much as they do that tough running game.
They are mutters. They run an offense that is well adapted to any type of weather. And you get a look at Brian Hackett, who not only is the place kicker for Glenbard North, but will also handle the punting duties today as well. And a packed crowd on the Mount Carmel side of the field. They filled it in pretty nicely across the way for the visitors from Glenbard North here at Gately Stadium, 103rd and Stony Island. We've spent a lot of time here the last couple of weeks, Kenny. Get us a place to a little cable TV, maybe, a little Comcast.
Right across the street from Corliss High School. But what a ball game this should be, that high-powered defense of Mount Carmel against this high-powered offense of Glenbard North High School.
Brent Butler and Tim Brown deep to receive for Mount Carmel. Glenbard North, they barely got into the playoffs. They had to win the final week to get their spot. They did it. They've run the table since. Mount Carmel yet to lose. They're in a customary spot. Here we go. Butler takes it at the 7. Return is set up to the left. He has a bit of a wall, runs into Brown, keeps going and carries out to the 25-yard line before he is brought down by Jim Montgomery. The Mount Carmel Caravan, there is the offense. Brown and Williams, they are loads at running back, both over 1,000 yards. Frank Lenti pointed out before the game, none of his offensive linemen are taller than he is. but they sure know how to block.
Yeah, what a great offensive line. When you have 2,000-yard runners in that backfield, you know that offensive line, they're doing an outstanding job.
Brown is number 27. Williams is number 34. Williams is closer to your screen. Jordan Lynch, the quarterback. He'll throw on first down, swings it out, has a man. It's Butler at the 30, and he'll get out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 to start the game. Brings up 2nd down and 1. And now here is the Glenbard North defense. And interesting matchup on the offensive and defensive line because the Glenbard North defensive line not that large. So it's going to be a finesse game today along the line of scrimmage when Mount Carmel has the football.
And Jim, what a great call there by Coach Linty. This is a running offense. Your first play from the line of scrimmage, you pick up 9 with the pass.
It's Jordan Morgan in the slot to the left. Brown gets the carry, goes at the middle, didn't get anywhere. Met at the line of scrimmage by linebacker Steve Friedberg.
Boy, Friedberg was right there, Jim. There was absolutely no penetration there by the offensive line of Mount Carmel. Watch Friedberg coming right into your screen on the ground level. Right there, boy, you talk about quick off the snap. Friedberg read the play, no gain there for the Caravan.
So after a pretty good yardage play on first down, the Glenbard North defense with a chance to get off the field here, although it is 3rd down and 1. KJ Picard is out wide to the left. Lynch hands off to Williams. A second effort. He will have the first down. He's out to the 36-yard line.
What a great second effort there by Williams. This is a young man that is very difficult to bring down, Jim. You got to really hit him low. And you can see right there how strong Williams really is as he spun, and with that second effort gets the first down.
The Glenbard North defense really bringing it here, Kenny, in the opening series. But Mount Carmel able to churn it out and move the chains and get a first down. Lynch back to throw, looks left, down the sideline, has a man, complete. That's Butler. First down Mount Carmel at the Glenbard North 35-yard line.
Now, this is a team that didn't have any yards passing in the air last week. They've come out throwing the ball, and here it is. Look at Butler, plenty of time. Now watch where he puts this ball, Jim. Out to the outside, and where only Butler can catch that ball. A great play by Lynch and Butler.
That is a ridiculously good throw for a high school quarterback.
Where only his man could catch the ball.
And Butler got it in stride. Coming up on 10 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Opening drive of the game, and Mount Carmel has it at the 36-yard line of Glenbard North. Williams up the middle, has some room. He's to the 30, picks up about 8 yards, I should say, down to about the 27-yard line. Let's go down to Eric Schmidt. Eric?
You know, JB, Kenny, you mentioned that they had Mount Carmel had 0 yards passing last week. One of the reasons is their receivers have been banged up. They had 2 inexperienced juniors playing, and the other, to give credit, Coach Lenti said that Jordan Lynch said he really thought putting the ball on the ground against Maine South was their best chance to win because of that. Obviously, give them a little bit different look today.
Coach obviously listens to someone who knows, right? Lynch throws it, flares it out. Butler, he's tackled at the 28-yard line. That'll be no gain on the play. Might have been close to being actually a block in the back on the screen as Justin Warman, number 2, had the coverage on the play and made the tackle.
And Justin Bracken was right there, and he almost had a block in the back. But he pulled up at the last second. So the Caravan coming out throwing the ball. Something we didn't think they would do a lot of. This is a team that loves to run with behind that great offensive line and 2 outstanding running backs. 3rd
down and 2 for the Caravan. You would not be surprised here to see them take 2 cracks at it if they don't get it here on 3rd. Pitched out. Williams has the first. He's across the flag down to the play to the 20, to the 15, gets around the corner, finally forced out of bounds to the 5. The flag was thrown at the interior line. This may be coming back.
Yeah, I think that's going to come back.
Holding.
The hold, you're going to bring it back. Williams picked up the first down, able to get to the outside. And you had the flag, came out a little late. But they're going to call a hold against Mount Carmel.
Get a look at some of the folks who made the trip over from Carroll Stream today. Tell you what, Kenny, I had a nice trip here. I used the I-355 extension for the first time. My kudos to the Illinois Tollway Authority. That was what a deal now for coming to high school games in the South to Southwest, huh? 3rd down and 10 from the 36 for Mount Carmel. Lynch looks to throw, goes right, has a man, complete. 1st down, Mount Carmel, out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Justin Bracken flagged it down, ran underneath it, has the completion, and the Caravan knocking on the doorstep.
And again, Jim, where does he put that ball? Only where Bracken can catch it. Here it is again. He goes to the right side, looks for Bracken, and look the way he throws it up to the outside there, where only Bracken can catch that ball. 1st down by the Caravan.
1st and goal from the 10-yard line for the Caravan.
What a great job by Lynch so far.
Picard goes out to the left. Butler is in the slot. Brown. And well, Lynch kept it, dropped it on the turf. The Panthers say they have it. The officials haven't signaled as of yet. And Mount Carmel will keep possession of the football, so it turns out to be an interesting gain of about 4 yards down to the 6th. Lynch kept it and then dropped it.
Boy, that ball went down, and all of a sudden you just saw a lot of bodies scrambling for that loose ball.
Well, Kenny, remember the game that we did last year, St. Rita and Mount Carmel? They got down to the doorstep a bunch of times in that game, but kept dropping on the turf.
Yeah, right there. That's where he stripped. You can see he was stripped of the ball, but he lays on it, comes up with it.
Bracken out wide to the left this time. This time it is Williams up the middle, ball on the turf, and the Panthers have it, and there's nobody in front of Kyle Schwetz. Kyle Schwetz doesn't have a Caravan member within 20 yards of him.
He can walk in.
Touchdown, Glenbard North. There are no flags in the field. A 96-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown. And the Caravan, who drove the ball at will on that opening drive, they lay it on the turf 2 times in a row. The 2nd time cost them.
Wow.
And if you're an underdog trying to beat one of the state powerhouses, what a play to get in the 1st quarter.
What a great play by Kyle Schwetz, your 6'2 junior. He just saw the ball laying there and just picks it up, and it runs 96 yards.
Well, one of the problems, Kenny, with these option offenses, you get just a little bit of rain, enough to make it slippery, and it could make it difficult. Hackett into attempt the extra point. Flag is down to the play, and the kick is good, but hold on for a moment.
Flag on the play. You can see our officials talking it over.
Illegal formation.
So they'll back them up and they'll try it again.
Illegal formation, so we'll try it one more time.
And remember, Glenbard North scored with right around a minute remaining in their game last week against Frem to get to this game. West Aurora was the victim in that game, and it was only a 4-point victory for Glenbard North. So they've been living on the edge for about a month now.
But they've answered every challenge.
Submission penalty against the Panthers.
So now from the 15-yard line, they'll attempt the extra point again. And we all know about the adventure that kicking in high school can be. We talk about it all the time, Kenny.
Yeah, it can be something. He made the first one. Let's see if he can do it again.
Every point so valuable in a playoff game. And that kick is up, and it is plenty long enough, and it is good. Glenbard North with a very unlikely 7-0 lead. They have yet to run a play from scrimmage. They have yet to stop the Mount Carmel offense, but they find themselves leading 7-0.
You have to capitalize on mistakes, and that's exactly what they did when Mount Carmel fumbled the ball. Picks it up and runs 94 yards for a touchdown.
But if there is any team or any coaching staff least likely to panic other than Mount Carmel in this situation, I certainly don't know what it is. Here's a replay of the touchdown.
Here it is again. He tried to give it to the 2nd man through, and then you see the ball goes down on the ground, and right there is stripped there by Steve Freiberg, and then all of a sudden, man, he just picked that ball up, and Kyle is off to the races. And there's not a brown shirt within 20 yards of him, Jim. Hey, nobody near him.
I'll guarantee you, as Kyle's running down the field, he's saying, please don't let anybody be within 10 yards of me. Because the worst thing you can do in that situation is look around.
What a great hit there, though, by Steve Freiberg, though, to strip that ball.
Butler and Brown deep to receive once again for Mount Carmel. What a turn of events here in the early part. On our Cn100 High School Game of the Week, we are coming to you live from Gately Stadium. Jim Blaney along with Kenny McReynolds. Eric Schmidt is down on the sidelines. The winner of this game, they will play in the final game of the weekend next week, next Saturday night at the University of Illinois. That is the Caravan crowd coming to their feet. Deep kick. It will go into the end zone. Automatic touchback in high school football. Mount Carmel starts their second drive, down 7-0 from their own 20-yard line.
Boy, what a kick. That was a really, really good kick, Jim. So, but one thing you have to remember now, Mount Carmel, they were able to drive all the way down.
We'd like to remind viewers that coverage of tonight's game is supported in part by our good friends from the Daily Herald. The Daily Herald continues to set the standard of excellence for local sports coverage. Read all about the game in the Daily Herald. The Daily Herald, big picture, local focus. And by Comcast, digital cable on demand, high-speed internet with power boost, and reliable home service. Get all three great products on one convenient bill. Call 1-888-4-BEST-TV and ask about the triple play.
Well, Lynch came out throwing last series. Let's see if he does the same thing this time.
Rain still coming down in a drizzle. Pitch. This is Brown. Has some room. Has some room at the sideline. Got by one man. Cuts it back inside. Carries it out to the 49-yard line before he's brought down on the tackle by Tyler Dahl.
Wow, what a great blocking there for Brown. Was able to get to the outside. You know, he's a 1,000-yard rusher, but he had a good block there by Joe Daly to open him up once he turned the corner. Here it is again on the option on the pitchback, but watch the block there, and here's another one right there. And that opens it up for him to go down the sideline. That was Jordan Morgan with his second block.
And it was Butler with the first. 1st and 10 for the Caravan from their own 49-yard line. 7:06 remaining here in the first quarter. Butler goes in motion. Lynch pitches. That's Williams trying to get outside, not getting there. No gain on the play.
What a nice job of pursuit. What a beautiful job of pursuit. They just would not let Williams turn that corner.
Frank Cusimano with the contain of the play and with the tackle.
Well, that was a great containment and tackle. They just would not let Williams turn that corner, Jim. I'm sure they can go from sideline to sideline. Good speed by their defensive line of Glenbard North.
And when we say no gain, we mean no gain. That ball is sitting right on the 49 once again. Now Lynch has thrown some big passes already in this game. He drops back to throw. Has his man. Brackett is wide open. Has it at the 27-yard line. Taken out of bounds at the 14. 1st and 10, Mount Carmel.
You know what? If this was basketball, I would say that he curled to the basket. But what he did, he went downfield, curled, looked like he was going to go toward the post, and he curled right to the outside. Again, the offensive line doing a great job. He curled towards the post, and he goes to the outside, wide open. As the defender goes for the deep to the inside, he goes to curl to the outside. There he is, coming right into your screen. Big play. They have not been able to stop the Caravan on offense all afternoon.
So the Caravan back where they were a few moments ago before they put it on the turf. Handoff goes inside to Brown. Hops past the tackler, drives to the goal line. Touchdown, Mount Carmel.
Great individual effort.
The official on the near side of the field, who was farther away from the play, made the call. And Mount Carmel, just like that, after giving up a touchdown on offense, now have the potential of tying this game with an extra point.
Well, they had not been able to stop this offense all afternoon. If it's not for the fumble. Boy, what a great individual effort.
Rodriguez in to attempt the extra point, left footer. And that kick is up, and it is no good. You know, Kenny, if there is one thing that has been somewhat of an Achilles heel through the years from Mount Carmel, they have never had an outstanding kicking game. They've had some good kickers, but they've never had an outstanding kicking game.
And you never know, this could really come back to haunt you in a close game. Every point in a game like this is so crucial.
And now the rest of the day, we may be in that argument about whether or not you go for two or not. Exactly. There's the touchdown.
Here's the touchdown. Watch the individual effort. He gets hit once, breaks the tackle, just spins, and rolls his way into the end zone. Tim Brown. Here's from the high angle. Look, he breaks the tackle, goes to the outside, skips up, breaks another tackle. He just would not be denied. Great individual effort by Brown.
We are just past halfway through the first quarter. We have yet to see the Glenbard North offense get out on the field. And that was a 1:21 drive for a touchdown after turning it over the first time Mount Carmel had the football.
4 plays, 80 yards. The biggest play, though, the long pass, 51-yard passing play.
Back it up. Let's go. Sideline. Back it up, please.
And you can see the officials asking the Mount Carmel bench to back it up. Got to get your get-back guys out there in state playoffs.
Matt Ing and Justin Warman. That's Ing closest to your screen. They are back to receive for the Panthers. This kick will be with the win. Low kick by Rodriguez. Ing, nice catch at the 8-yard line. Has a return at the middle of the field, takes it out to the 25-yard line, and we will finally get to see the Glenbard North offense directed by Evan Watkins. Watkins this year, 18 touchdowns, that's good news, 10 interceptions, so he has a tendency to have it picked off. Tyler Dahl has rushed for over 1,500 yards so far this season.
And one thing we know, that Watkins loves to pass. Here's a young man that can throw the ball 40 yards in the air on the dead run. He has a strong arm, and he has a good offensive line.
Matt Ing comes wide to the left. Matt Ing has almost as many receptions as Jordan Lynch has pass attempts. That shows you how much more Glenbard North throws the football. Dahl carries it right side, has room, and he'll take it out to about the 32-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play brings up 2nd down and 3.
Well, the throwing quarterback comes out and they hand the ball off.
This is one of the faster defenses you are going to see in high school football. Not particularly big guys, but the guy to watch, Steve Filer, number 44, heading for Notre Dame. Best high school tackler that I've seen in a long time.
Long time. I call him Mr. Filer because he is a man among boys out there on the field.
2nd down and 3. Fumble. Ball is on the turf. The Caravan may have it. No, Glenbard North able to get back on the football. And it appears that Demetrius Carr, Mount Carmel, a little slow to get up.
Coach, you guys got barrel.
Dahl recovered it for Glenbard North.
Here it is again, off the handoff. Dahl recovered his own fumble. He never really had possession of it, and he just dives for the ball. He never had possession on the handoff.
That was a great recovery because he was really nowhere near it, and there was a big Mount Carmel paw out to grab the football.
Right, Dahl was on the floor, on the ground. He just spun around and picked it up.
3rd down and 4. Dahl is the single setback. Ing is wide to the left. Play fake. Looking inside for Ing, has him. 1st down, and Ing carries it out to the 45-yard line.
Boy, Ing open and in the little zone there at the 40-yard line, Jim. And once he catches that ball, he breaks the tackle and gets up to the 45-yard line. Here's it again. Now watch Ing. He'll find a little seam right here, right there. He'll stop. Knows he has the 1st down. Then he'll break the tackle and picks up an extra 5 yards.
Big-time completion by Evan Watkins. He had a hand right in his face and just hung in there and delivered the football.
Boy, look at the size on Watkins, though, huh?
Yeah, 6'6", 225. You suppose he can post up a few people?
I think he can post up a few people.
High school basketball starting tonight, right, for the boys?
Yeah.
4:07 remaining in the first quarter. Panthers have a bit of a drive going. They have the lead 7-6. Mount Carmel hops. We'll wait to make sure nobody moved for Glenbard North, but it sure didn't look like it.
Looked like Miller.
And they're going to walk it off against Mount Carmel. So Glenbard North will have it first.
Dead ball foul.
1st down and 5
on the defense.
Look
for a main first down.
Like Sean Miller.
Well, how tempting must this be for Glenbard North? You've got the lead. Your offense has hardly been on the field. You have 1st and 5 from midfield. Do you load it up and try and get something big? They'll keep it on the ground. This is Dahl. Spins away from a tackler that hits the turf and rolls forward for a gain of about 2 yards. Down to the 48. No, they'll back it up. They'll say he gained about a foot on that play.
Yeah, he was able to spin away from Anthony Battle, who really had him for a loss. That shows how quick Dahl is, Jim, because Battle had him tied up for a loss. He was able to spin out of his grasp to pick up just a little bit for the Panthers.
The winner of this game will face Naperville North next Saturday night. Naperville North, a winner last night over Homewood Flossmoor. So you had an established football power versus an upstart in both of these 8A semifinal games, and that is going to be close to a first down for Glenbard North. In fact, it will be a first down all the way down to the Mount Carmel 43-yard line.
As Tyler Dahl, again, able to pick up the yardage. Watch the way he'll go to the right side, follow the blockers, and boy, I tell you, they did a great job of opening holes for Dahl, and he runs into his own man, but not after he picks up that first down. Give a lot of credit, Jim, for that offensive line of the Panthers.
And just to finish the thought, Kenny, HF, they had 4 losses on the year, were among the last teams selected into the field, as was the case with Glenbard North. And Naperville North, they're in the championship game. They've only lost once this year, and that was in triple overtime to Wheaton-Warrenville South. Glenbard North, the other of 3 DuPage Valley teams still playing this weekend. Dahl gets the carry. Left side, not a lot of room there, but enough to nose it out to the 40-yard line. Gain of 3 on the play. It brings up 2nd down and 7.
Well, they're doing such a great job on the ground, running behind that good offensive line. Dahl, just what they're going to continue to do, Jim. But yeah, you talk about being one of the last teams to get into the playoffs. The key thing is you want to get in.
That's right.
Just once you get in, anything can happen.
Because, and that's the thing, Kenny, you just want somebody to let you keep playing.
Just give me an opportunity.
Coming up on 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. From the Mount Carmel 40, Dahl carries again, has some room on the right side. He has a first down. He's to the 10. Dahl, touchdown, Glenbard North. Panthers lead at 13-6.
40-yard gain. Well, Tyler Dahl has been doing it all afternoon. That's 57 yards for Dahl total today on 6 carries.
It took the Glenbard North offense 6 minutes of playing time before they got to run their first play from scrimmage. They take it on their first drive and cash it in for a touchdown.
Boy, what a job by the offensive line.
Hackett into attempt a big extra point now. That kick is low, and it is good.
Boy, just barely made it over the crossbar. It was a line drive.
There are no style points on extra points.
Boy, what a game by Tyler Dahl. What a first quarter.
We have had an incredible first quarter here at Gateway Stadium. A 96-yard fumble recovered for a touchdown. Mount Carmel on offense, really moving the ball at will down the field on the Glenbard North defense. But the Glenbard North offense, and really Tyler Dahl, he got all the carries.
Boy, he got all the carries, boy, but what a great block there by the offensive line. And Tyler Dahl goes down for the touchdown for 40 yards out.
Well, Eric Schmidt touched on it a little bit at the beginning. Glenbard North came in as a 5-4 team when the playoffs began, but let's take a look at the 4 games they lost. They lost to Wheaton-Warrenville South. They're undefeated. They're still playing. They lost to Naperville North. They've only lost once. They're already into the championship round. They were a loser at Naperville Central, a very, very good football team, and they lost to a Crystal Lake South team that went through most of the season undefeated.
So they've played a tough schedule. Boy, what a great job of blocking there by the guys on the right side. Hester, Jones.
And you go to Mount Carmel on the other side of the field. They ran the table in one of the tougher leagues in the state as well. And they have to put up with the fact that every week they're usually the biggest opponent that a team is going to face. So they get everybody's best every week.
Yeah, when you play Mount Carmel, you know you have to have your best.
This kick will stay in play. Brown has it at the 7. comes to the right side. He has an opening across the 30, puts his head down, and goes to the 35-yard line before he was brought down on the play by Steve Friedberg. Okay, now let's take a look at the schedule that Glenbard North played. And look at this. They were sitting at 2-3 halfway through the season. Their final game, they had to win it against West Aurora to get in, and they did at 14-7. But since the playoffs have gotten underway, they've taken out some big-time teams.
And look at the points they put on the board.
They have scored, and they have scored in bunches.
But now the question is, can their defense stop the Mount Carmel offense? So far in the first quarter, they have not.
Only the fumble prevented Mount Carmel from scoring another touchdown. Lynch keeps, pitches, that's Williams. Left side, has one man to get around the corner. Now he's up the sideline to the 30, taken out of bounds by Ing at the 22-yard line.
Wow. Did you see the block there by Butler and then one by KJ Ricard? They did a great job on that option of getting Williams open. Here it is again now. Watch the pitch to Williams. Then you get one block here. That's the first block. Now watch the second block will come up, and then the next thing you know, it's off to the races.
With as infrequently as Mount Carmel throws the football, if you are a receiver on this team, you had better be willing to block, and you had better be pretty good at it.
And we saw a couple of really good blocks there.
1st and 10 from the Glenbard North 22-yard line. Caravan trailing 14-6. Lynch pitches. Brown between the tackles, and he will waltz in for a touchdown, 22-yard line.
And give Jordan Morgan half of the 6 points.
Mount Carmel 2 plays, and they cover 2/3 of the field.
And they're going to go for 2. They're
yeah,
not going to
absolutely.
They can go for 2. Did you see that block by Morgan? Talk about opening up a hole. Boy, this may be one of those games, Jim.
2 incredibly impressive plays on offense from Mount Carmel on that drive.
So now they go for 2 to take the lead. I'm sorry, to tie it up.
14-12 at the moment. Lynch rolls out, takes a look. He's going for the corner. He makes it. 2-point conversion, Mount Carmel, and we're all tied up at 14. And I have a feeling that the players on both sidelines on offense are going to be switching into the track spikes.
Because we may have an old-fashioned track meet here today. Great offensive performances by both teams here in the first quarter.
And still 1:25 on the clock.
Mount Carmel with 2,000-yard rushers in the backfield. And they've shown so far in this quarter why. But look at the offensive line. Here it is again now. You pitch it out. Watch this block right there. Just annihilates his man, and he's able to walk in. That was Jordan Morgan opening up the hole, and you get the easy 6 points.
Well, if this were a tennis match, Kenny, we would say it's tied at 14, but Glenbard North is up a service break. With 21 seconds to cover 65 yards.
That didn't take long. And they're dancing at Gately Stadium.
And isn't this a little bit interesting that Tyler Dahl is back there to receive the kick? So maybe the coaching staff at Glenbard North trying to get an extra touch for the guy who has been their best offensive player so far in this game. Matt Ing is back there as well.
Look, Dahl has done everything today so far for the Panthers.
Rodriguez will kick it away. Pretty good kick. Ing takes it at the 7-yard line. Has a seam, and then he's hit at the 25-yard line. Boy, you know, when you get hit by the Caravan, the first guy gets you, and then there's usually 3 or 4 other guys that come by to help out.
Yeah, one guy will hit you and hold you up.
Okay, let's take a look at what Mount Carmel did. They started off with a 1-point miracle win at Soldier Field over Joliet Catholic, and that set the table for them to run the table. We had the game against St. Rita on our Cn100 game of the week, and they had a tussle with Maine South in the last game. They were a 7-point winner. By the way, some of you may have read that Frank Lenti invoked the 1995 6A, I think it was a 6A championship game against Maine South as a point of inspiration. Frank says that's just flat not true. And when I read that, I thought, wait a second, the guys in your team were 6 years old when that happened. He says, not true. They just went out and beat Maine South to get to this game. Dahl, right side, not much there. Picked up maybe a couple of yards. And as they unpile, Keith Nunez gets off the pile last, senior corner making the tackle.
Yeah, they weren't going to let Dahl turn that corner, because once he's turned that corner, we've seen today that he's very, very dangerous.
The Panthers watch the play, get signaled in from the sideline. Now they're set to go. And it looks like there's a little bit of confusion out there.
Yeah. They look like, okay, now he's going to call a play.
37 seconds left. Watkins has an I formation behind him. Play fake. Looks downfield, nobody there. Has to tuck it under. Now he's going to run. And he'll take it out to about the 32-yard line. He gets smoked as he was stood up. Gain of the play to about the 32-yard line. So it's going to be third down and about 5, but we won't get another playoff before the quarter ends.
Great play there, too, by the cornerback, Victor Alvarez. He had his man covered, and then all of a sudden he just had to take off and started running. But Alvarez did a great job of covering his man downfield.
An incredibly entertaining first quarter comes to an end. Glenbard North and Mount Carmel, they're all tied up at 14 at the end of one in this 8A semifinal game. More to come from Gately Stadium after this timeout on the Cn100 high school game of the week.
You're watching the Comcast Network, CN100 Chicago.
When it comes to entertainment, Chicago is no second city. The Chicago entertainment scene is loaded with high-profile movie premieres, renowned film festivals, legendary music venues, distinguished theatrical performances in world-class hotels, restaurants, and nightclubs, all of which attract the biggest names in the entertainment world to Chicago. Stay tuned for the premiere of Primetime Chicago, coming soon to CN100.
Some of the Mount Carmel faithful on the sidelines here taking a little rest after seeing a wild first quarter of action. Third down and 4 for Glenbard North. They're on their own 32-yard line. Watkins in the shotgun. He will roll to his left. Has a little bit of time. Now the window of opportunity closes. Throws downfield. Has his man Dahl first down at the 48-yard line.
Boy, what a big, big catch by Dahl.
Evan Watkins looking like Ben Roethlisberger back there. He's about the same size.
Boy, you know, it looked like Tyler Copath was about to get him. Now watch Copath, number 9, chases him down, but he gets it away on the run, and that's a big play by Dahl. He has to reach back to catch that ball. Boy, big play by the Panthers.
Carl Garrick lined up in the slot to the left.
Caravan take a timeout.
And at least for the time being, Kenny, that is the only way that these defenses are stopping the offenses. Well, you know what, Kenny? This is our last go-around in the CN100 high school football game of the week, but we want to remind everybody that coming up in December, the game of the week tips off the 2007-2008 high school basketball season right here on CN100, the Comcast Network. For exact game information, visit our website at cn100.tv. And the team everybody has an eye on,
Whitney Young.
Whitney Young, number 1 in the state. You get plenty of chances to watch high school football today on Comcast, and that can be found on Channel 8 on your Comcast service.
Well, there was something wrong with the defensive set that Coach Lynch didn't like. He called timeout.
Here comes Watkins again. He'll hand up to Dahl, left side, and he'll push it out to about the 45-yard line. We'll give him a gain of 3 on the play. So second down and 7 coming up for the Glenbard North offense, and one of the Caravan defenders a little slow to get up on the field.
A little bit slow to get up there, Sean Miller. Sean Miller, a little slow to get up. They're looking at his knee. And see, now he's pointing down lower, saying, no, I think it's my shin. Let's see if we can see it right here. Here's your handoff. Now let's see if we can see where he gets hurt. Let's follow your big tackles there. Here he comes in, makes the tackle. And when he goes down, his left leg bends under him.
Yeah, it looks like he got pinned under the pile.
You can see the left leg bend under him when he went down. But he's walking off under his own power, which is good. Boy, Mr. Dahl has 96 total yards so far today.
Yeah, it's been 2 guys so far for Glenbard North. It's been Dahl and Watkins. Dahl runs it, and then Watkins comes in and throws if they need to.
And they're both juniors. So they will have a lot of experience under their belts.
Ing comes out wide to the right. And now we get a timeout called by Glenbard North. They look like they may be having some signaling problems, Kenny, because there's a couple of times the guys have been looking over the sideline. They got the big whiteboard over there they signal the plays in.
But yeah, this is the second time that they looked confused out there on offense. And then the Caravan was shifting around on defense. So when you're not sure, Jim, take the timeout. You have 3 of them. You can't carry them over, so you might well take it if you're confused.
First half, you use them instead of coming up with a problem.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to take the timeout if you're not sure. It is a little chilly here at Gately Stadium on the south side of Chicago.
Well, and if any of you are familiar with Stephen King's novel, The Stand, everybody running around with colds and something going on. I'm just wondering if that's maybe not the beginning of the apocalypse. You know, everybody got that flu. They didn't take their flu buddy.
Here we go. Now it's 2nd and 7 after the timeout by the Panthers.
I'll tell you what, they sure are loud over on that Glenbard North side of the field, aren't they? That's the sound you hear right now. I formation. Dahl. He'll try it left side, try to cut it back to the right. Nothing doing. Did pick up a couple of yards in the play. Steve Filer made the hit.
We're going to say his name an awful lot today because Steve Filer may be the best defensive player in the state of Illinois. It's hard to get by Filer. He's so quick, he's strong, he's tough to fool.
Earlier this year, we got a treat, Kenny. We saw Filer on the field with, well, against Darius Miles, 2 of the better defensive players in the state.
Yeah.
It was a real treat.
You had 2 really good ones. There's your play call right there. This is what, 84?
Glenbard North is 2 out of 2 on 3rd down so far in the game. This one's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Mount Carmel 43. Watkins, little play fake. Looks downfield, delivers the football. It looked like Ing short-hopped it, and they call that complete. Oh, the Mount Carmel folks aren't going to like this, because it certainly looked like it short-hopped in there. We'll get a look at the replay.
It looked like it short-hopped it.
But if Ing if it's ruled a catch and it did short-hop, somebody better hire Ing as a salesman.
Here it is again, and
Kenny, he got his arms underneath that.
His arm underneath. You know what? The officials were right. It looked tough to see, but he had his hands underneath it.
Yeah, it sure did look like it.
Boy, great call by the official.
1st and 10 for the Mount Carmel 32 now. Greg, that is a pro-type catch, getting your arms underneath it like that.
I gotta say, what a catch by Ing.
Back to Dahl, up the middle, and you know what? He's not getting a lot, Kenny, but he's going for 4, 5, 6 every time he carries the football. That's a gain of 6.
And again, you have to give a lot of credit to that offensive line because this defense of the Caravan is absolutely outstanding, and they're moving the defense back 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, moving the chains, taking a little clock off. Now, if they can sustain a long drive here and keep that Caravan offense off the field, that's what you want to do because they haven't been able to stop them all afternoon.
You might want to be planning on, okay, we see the way this game is going. We want to make sure we get the ball last in this game. Ing comes out wide to the right on 2nd down and 4. Watkins, this is Dahl, right side, and again, doesn't get a lot, but did get a couple of yards before he was brought down. Steve Filer was in the neighborhood.
I was going to say, guess who? Right there to drive him back is Filer.
Filer in on the tackle.
Filer's in just about on every tackle. You're not going to get much when you run towards Filer.
3rd down and 3. Now remember, Glenbard North has a pretty decent kicking game with Brian Hackett.
And they have the wind at their back.
Not a whole lot of wind, just a little bit. Drizzle still falling lightly here at Gately Stadium. But on the other hand, you know you need to score touchdowns in this game now. Dahl, right side, and he is going to be close to a 1st down. Based on where the officials are coming into market, I am going to guess we're going to need a measurement on this one.
Yeah, it's going to be close. You're going to bring the chains in. Here it is again. He only needed 3. You just go right up the middle. Let's see. Then you get a good block there against Filer, but you bring it in. It's going to be extremely close. It's going to be very, very close. And you had a great block there by Tim Hester.
I'll tell you what, Kenny, I have no clue on this one because it's right in the middle of the field away from the hash marks, and we can't look right down the line, so we'll have to wait for the call.
Going to be short. Yep, be short.
So, 4th down, and we're going to call it a 1.5 feet. And I'll tell you what, Kenny, I think this is one you go for.
I think you go for it, too, because they've done a good job of getting 3, 4 at a time. You only need less than a yard right now, and that offensive line has been doing a tremendous job so far. And of course, Tyler Dahl has also been outstanding this afternoon. I think you go for it.
Looks like a little confusion on Watkins' part getting the play. They better hustle up.
Hustle up, and you're going to have to take another timeout.
You do not have the play clock in high school football. Watkins to Dahl, has the 1st down, and takes it down to the 18-yard line. Kyler Kopak hanging on to make the tackle.
Well, and why not? They've been getting 4 or 5 at a time. You only needed less than 1. And again, the offensive line doing a very, very good job against this tough defense of the Caravan.
I said it before, I'll say it again. Glenbard North right now up a service break because it certainly looks like these offenses are just going to be able to grind it out all day today. You get a stop on defense, it's going to be huge. 1st and 10 from the 19. Dahl, left side, has a little bit of yardage, takes it across the 15-yard line, making a gain of 5 again. 2nd down and 5 coming up.
And I think with the rain and this drizzle coming down, you're going to see a lot of more of this, Jim. Just the handoffs. We know that Watkins is a passing quarterback. He loves to pass, but the running game has been working. And I think with this drizzle coming down, you may not be able to grip the football as well as you normally would. But again, the offensive line doing a great job, so why not keep it on the ground?
But you know what, Kenny, what happens here for offensive coordinators, the running game is working well. It's going along, and you think, okay, at some point in time,
you have to throw it.
You do a little play fake, if nothing else. 12th play of the drive coming up. Ing is out wide to the left. It will be Dahl again, left side. Not much there. He makes some room and takes it down to about the 11-yard line. Let's make it the 12.
Yeah, wasn't much there, but again, another great individual effort there by Dahl to cut back to pick up a yard or 2.
You know what, Kenny? As you look at the Mount Carmel defense there, look at the body language. A little bit of, wow, how are we going to stop these guys?
Boy, the running game for the Panthers has been outstanding today. And you know they come in throwing the ball. They love to throw it.
For the Glenbard North offense, you might want to think about taking some time off the clock for when Mount Carmel gets the ball again. Neither team has been able to stop the other. 3rd down and 3 for the 12. Dahl up the middle. He's to the 10. He has a 1st down. He's down to the 7. 1st and goal for Glenbard North.
I've said before, and I'll say it again, individual effort. That was an individual effort because he was stopped. Here it is again. Now going right into your living room. So he was stopped right there. He just bounces off and keeps going. Notice the way he keeps his feet moving. He doesn't stop. He keeps his feet moving. Picks up the 1st down because he was absolutely stopped.
Filer made the tackle.
Come on, defense!
Boy, what a great effort there by Dahl.
This has been an absolute shootout so far.
1st and 5 for the 1-yard line.
Glenbard North trying to reclaim the lead. Dahl will be busy again. Left side, has some blocking in front of him, goes inside. And they rule him down about 1 foot short of the goal line.
Did you see him follow Big Jim Montgomery? Boy, he just followed the big tight end.
Good old number 88.
Oh, boy. Look at it going to the left side. Watch, look, there you see right there. Watch Montgomery. Clear the path for him. He follows Montgomery and gets to about the 1 foot line.
Tell you what, Kenny, this Glenbard North team playing with the swagger of a team that has just picked up momentum every week through the last month.
Well, Montgomery 6'3", 230, and he led the charge to the left side. That was like student body left, let's go. Hey, do you think he get this to Dahl? Did he earn this?
One more time. Touchdown, Glenbard North.
And he earned it. Dahl earned that touchdown. You had to give it to him because he was the workhorse this entire drive. And he goes over the top, and the Panthers with the lead. And they'll kick it for the point after.
And they burn the clock down to 4:20 remaining in the second quarter.
See, I think that was the key because the defense hasn't been able to stop the Caravan, so you want to run some clock, and that's exactly what they did.
Hackett in to attempt the extra point. His last one was a little bit low. That one a line drive right down the middle. 21-14, Glenbard North leading in this 8A semifinal game.
The shootout.
And remember, Mount Carmel, the last time they had the ball, it took them 2 plays to cover 65 yards. In fact, the Mount Carmel offense so far today, they have had 6 plays that have gone for 20 yards plus.
Here it is again. Now, Dahl, he earned this touchdown. He just jumped right over the top, breaks the plane for the touchdown, but he was the workhorse the entire game. The offensive line doing a good job, a little bit of penetration. He only needed less than a yard. Dahl, the workhorse, with the touchdown.
Everybody catch your breath and get ready for the Caravan to come back out on offense.
And the Panthers have not been able to stop the Caravan all afternoon.
The only time the Mount Carmel offense was stopped was the first drive of the game when the Caravan put it on the turf.
And see, the key there in this 74-yard drive, I think, was the 8 minutes and 37 seconds that they took off of the clock.
The last 9 plays of the drive were all carries by Dahl.
Boy, I would not be surprised if he's on the sidelines now getting a little oxygen because he has been a workhorse today.
Butler and Brown deep to receive. The Glenbard North student body, they're on their feet. With the wind, Brown in the end zone, touchback.
Automatic touchback, back foot within the end zone.
So at least for Glenbard North, they're going to make Mount Carmel travel 80 yards in 4:20. I'm going to say it, I know the Catholic Blue was tough this year, but the toughest league in the state this year because 3 teams are still playing this weekend in the semifinals. Wheaton-Warrenville South plays East St. Louis Senior today. Naperville North has already won their way into the 8A championship game. They'll meet the winner of this game. And then, of course, Glenbard North playing right now. You could have an all-DVC final in 8A. First play of the second quarter for Mount Carmel. There's 4 minutes left. Swung to the outside, complete, and stepping out of bounds with a first down is Justin Bracken.
Well, it's a good play, Jim. You swing it out to Bracken. He knows when he gets that first down, then he steps right out of bounds. Here it is again. I like the way Bracken goes right to the yardsticks. He knows he's got that 10 that he needs, then he'll just step, go out of bounds. First down for the Caravan. You know, not trying to do anything too much, not trying to be fancy because, let's face it, the Panthers have not done a good job of stopping the Caravan on offense.
Mount Carmel also has 2 timeouts to work with him. Lynch, right side, kept it, carries it out to about the 35-yard line. As he turned the corner, he was met by Mike Fierro.
And remember, Lynch loves to run. He's rushed for 546 yards on the season. But he also has 9 rushing touchdowns. So he picks up 5 there. 2nd and 5 for the Caravan.
3.5 remaining in the second quarter. Lynch to throw, has Bracken knocked away on a nice defensive play by Matt Ing.
Boy, what a great play by Ing. What Lynch did that time, Jim, he never looked his man off. 2-step drop back, and then he goes over looking for Bracken. He doesn't look his man off, and boy, look at that nice left hand there by Ing to knock that down.
That is textbook how you do it. You reach across with the arm closer to the quarterback. That way, if it gets by you, you put your hand in the back of the receiver, you still have a chance to make the play. Third down and 5 for Mount Carmel. Slot right formation. They'll hand it off. Lynch turns, has the first down and more. He's across midfield before he's finally driven out of bounds.
Well, I tell you, he's a running quarterback, Jim, that loves to run behind that outstanding offensive line, and Lynch gets that first down going to the outside.
You know, at this time of year, Kenny, when you have a big play, put it in the hands of your best player. That's what Mount Carmel did here.
That's exactly what he did right there. It follows the blocking, and boy, look at this. He's just so quick, Jim. He splits the defenders and gets for the first down.
3:11 remaining in the second quarter. Mount Carmel on the move. They have the ball right at midfield. Lynch back to throw. Bracken ran a beautiful pattern and just couldn't quite get to it at the 30-yard line. He ran in, he turned out, he was wide open. And I'm not sure if he quite didn't get to the spot or if the ball was thrown a little bit outside, but that was a nice pattern.
But at the same pattern he ran in the first quarter. He runs towards the post, then he curls out to the outside, but he just couldn't get there. But he was wide open, and he runs a wonderful pattern. He did it in the first quarter, and it worked again that time, but he just couldn't catch up to the ball.
It's almost like every time the play gets blown dead, everybody in this crowd kind of gathers themselves for what's going to come next. Lynch hands off up the middle, and nothing there for Williams.
Well, absolutely nothing there for Williams.
Adrian Leal making the tackle.
Boy, what a big hit. Here's your big hit of the day. To Williams, watch it. Boom. Oh, that hurt. That hurt.
Leal, a senior, 6'2", 220.
Boy, what a pop there by Leal. I'm sure Williams is going back to the huddle like, guys, somebody give me some help.
2 very huge plays potentially coming up for the Glenbard North defense. 3rd down and 10 from midfield. Lynch back to throw. Has some time. Now it runs out. Scrambles out. Throws downfield. Up for grabs. Intercepted. Picked off downfield by Evan Watkins, the quarterback.
The quarterback, and what a better person to have in your defensive backfield than a quarterback, because he knows what a quarterback is looking for, and he's back there, and Lynch was scrambling, and it was thrown a little short. Watkins right there for the interception.
Okay, now 2:15 remaining here in the second quarter. Glenbard North with the ball back and a chance to score again.
Here it is again. He's scrambling, he's scrambling, he's scrambling. And see, he throws that one off that back foot and a little bit short, and Watkins right there for the reception.
Watkins stays on the field as the quarterback now.
Well, I think if you're the Panthers, you try to do what you did last time. You just run the clock.
Dahl will run it left side. Has a little bit of room. Gets it out to the 35-yard line before he's brought down. Steve Filer was over there.
And the key there, Jim, that he stayed in bounds. Keep the clock moving.
Second down, Panthers.
They're going to have to start moving a little bit more quickly. They do have 2 timeouts remaining. Watkins hands it to Dahl, runs, and he will be short of a first down by about a yard. What you might be seeing here, Kenny, we'll run it and see if we get the first down. If we get the first down, then we might start using the timeouts.
Exactly, but I think you're going to try to get that first down. I agree with you. You're running to see if you can get the first, because you're just third and a real short one.
And the reason for that is you've seen Mount Carmel make big plays all game long on offense, and Glenbard North, they'll get the ball to start the second half. Clock running with 1:11 remaining. Watkins will keep it on the ground. Dahl runs again, and this is exactly what, oh, he'll have the first down. They mark it at the 40.
Yeah, if they marked it at the 40, he's got it.
So you get the stoppage of the clock with the chains moving. There's 1:03 remaining.
Here it is again, Jim. Here's the replay, and you just keep it on the ground to your workhorse dog. That's what you want. He needs to get to the 40, and great second effort, and he gets the first down.
Glenbard North calls timeout, even though the clock stopped because of moving the chains. Of course, the clock is only stopped until the chains get set.
Panthers with that timeout.
Hey, high school football fans, did you miss last week's Cn100 Game of the Week? If you did miss it, now you can see it when you want with On Demand from Comcast. Just click the On Demand button on your Comcast remote control. Scroll down your menu to Get Local. From there, you click on Cn100, Comcast Network, and then find and select the Game of the Week folder to select your game. Play, pause, fast forward, rewind your favorite plays. You are in control. Check back this week. You'll be able to watch this game on demand as well. It's the Comcast Network Game of the Week on demand from Comcast.
And Jim, do you realize 15 of the last 16 plays have gone to Dahl, all running?
Now they might have to start pitching it with 1:03 remaining. They have one timeout left.
And here they go to the air.
Watkins drops back down the field. Double coverage, incomplete. Flag down.
He threw it into double coverage.
Dan Kochi was on the coverage.
Was on the coverage. Offense or defense? It's going to be defense.
All of a sudden now Glenbard North has a reasonable amount of time to work with because of the position of the ball in the field.
Boy, look at the time he has. He had plenty of time to throw it. He throws it right into the double coverage, and they're going to call the flag. Kochi's back there also with Victor Alvarez.
Pass interference on the defense. That results in an automatic first down.
And the ball right now sitting on the Mount Carmel 45.
Boy, he had all the time in the world. He had plenty of time.
Glenbard North leading 21-14. And they have the football. Watkins, he'll roll to his right, steps up, delivers the football, and it is incomplete. Looking down the left side of the field for Andrew Nguyen.
Yeah, he just overthrew it just a little bit. Andrew Nguyen was open, Jim. He went towards the post and he curved to the outside. Here it is again, and he just overthrows him just a little bit because he's open, and just overthrew him by a step.
Alvarez on the coverage once again. Clock stopped after the incompletion, 51 seconds remaining.
Well, I will say this for that offensive line. They are really giving Watkins a lot of time to set up and throw. He has plenty of time to throw. Now, he's thrown for over 1,700 yards coming into today's ball game, so we know he is an outstanding and very efficient passer.
Ing is to the left, Nguyen is to the right. They'll go with Dahl up the middle, and he'll carry it to about the 39-yard line before he's brought down. And let's see if Glenbard North burns their timeout, and they will.
They'll take that timeout.
41 seconds remaining, and it will be third down and about 4.
So I think you're probably in 2 down territory here. I think you take 2 cracks at it if you don't get it the first time.
You know what, Kenny? A lot of it depends on if you keep the clock running, because if you, let's say you pass incomplete on third down and you stop the clock, you don't make it on 4th. Mount Carmel has shown the ability to get big plays. They take over the football only 60 yards from their goal line.
So the key here on this third down, if you don't get it, you want to keep that clock moving.
Right.
They've done a great job of running the ball.
I think the optimum situation for Glenbard North here is if they don't score before the end of the half is don't let Mount Carmel get the football back.
And the Panthers are 5 out of 6 on third down conversions this afternoon.
They will line up in the shotgun. Third down and 4.
The Dahl is right back there with Watkins.
The Caravan fans on their feet here at Gateway Stadium. Watkins has time, throws over the middle, and it is knocked away. Very nearly picked off at the 10-yard line. Just nice play defensively by Demetrius Carr.
What a great defensive play by Carr. Because watch the time that Watkins has. He has all the time he needs, but watch Carr come right here and knock it away. Great defensive play by Carr.
I'm telling you right now, Kenny, I would punt this thing away.
And let's see.
It looks like that's what they're going to do. Yeah, no way do you give Mount Carmel the football there.
Because like you said earlier, with the incomplete pass, the clock stops. So you don't want to give the Caravan 35 seconds to go 60 yards.
Plus the fact, Kenny, it's 4th and 4, so Mount Carmel not likely to put the rush on you either. High snap, and it's a pretty decent kick. And it is flagged down at the 14-yard line. So Mount Carmel will have 27 seconds with which to cover 86 yards.
Well, they've shown the ability to get up and down the field so far this afternoon. Hey, there's our buddy Perry.
Yeah, you start with highlights from across the Chicago area, mix in interviews with coaches, players, fans. Sports Weekly comes to life. Join Perry Williams every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 6:30 on Cn100 for the week's most comprehensive high school sports coverage in Chicagoland. Perry's going to have a lot of basketball this week.
Oh,
girls' season is underway, and the guys start tonight.
And a lot of football, too.
And a lot of good football. I think we'll probably talk about this one a little bit.
I think so.
1st and 10 for Lynch in the Caravan. They let it go up the middle for Williams. He gets a pretty good carry. He's going to be close to a first down.
Yeah, he's close. And see, he jumped right up. He thought that he wasn't down. He thought that he rolled on one of the Panthers. And he was going to get up and get a timeout taken by the Caravan of Mount Carmel.
They'll burn it because 15 seconds left. And again, in a game like this, you need to make the best of every snap of the football you have. That's why you don't kneel down here.
And boy, he tripped over his own guy. That's when he said, hey, wait a minute, nobody touched me. He wanted to get up. And he tripped over his own guy. He tripped over Mike Smith. He said, hey, wait a minute, nobody touched me. I want to get up. I tripped over my own guy. Nobody touched me.
White drizzle continuing to fall here at Gateway Stadium. It's not a nuisance. I mean, what a setting, though. Check this out, Kenny. You got the turning trees across the way. You got the iron gray sky of November.
That's Corliss High School.
You have a team that wins, going to spend Thanksgiving thinking about playing for a state title.
A little chilly.
It's perfect. Couldn't be better.
What a great job, though, by our Cn100 crew. These guys do a tremendous job. They with Andy Zielkowski in the truck. Those guys just do an outstanding job.
Bracken comes out wide to the left. 2nd down and 1. But the key thing here is 15 seconds remaining in the half. They'll run it for the first down, and they get it. Williams has some room on his feet. He's across the 45 to the 47. The clock will stop with 7 seconds remaining. They'll move the chains.
And Caravan will take a timeout.
They'll take their last one. They might, well, realistically, they might be able to get 2 plays off if they run one to get a little closer and then one into the end zone.
I love on their replay. You saw Williams like push his own man out of the way. Wait a minute, you're in the way. Move. Let me get this first down. He almost took off for pay dirt. Boy, what a game. It's just who's going to have the ball last? Nobody can stop the other team. The offensive line, they're doing a great job. And you got great running backs doing a great job. And you can see it's a little cold here at Gateway Stadium. Just a matter of which team will get possession last.
That's what it looks like right now.
Boy, Williams doing a great job. He's so explosive, Jim. You just need to open a little hole for Williams. Give him a little daylight, and he takes off.
Mount Carmel does have a bag of tricks, too.
Well, do you have a bag of tricks with 7 seconds remaining?
Think about that. Will we see one pitch to the end zone or a short completion, then maybe one more play? Here we go. Lynch, back to throw. Looks, has a man down the middle, missed him, and 3 seconds remaining, so they'll get one more play.
Yeah, Tim Brown would look like he was open over the middle, and he just missed him.
2nd down for Mount Carmel.
That's Adrian Leal for Glenbard North, limping a little bit back to the defensive huddle.
Well, now you just pitch it to the end zone.
Or you try the hook and lateral. Or maybe you give it to
Williams.
Give it to Brown and say, here you go. See what you can do. It won't be Brown. He's not in the backfield.
3 guys wide to the left.
4-man rush. Doesn't get there. Lynch over the middle, and it was tipped away, and that is how. You talk to the coaches about, okay, what's the game plan going to be the rest of the way? I think the game plan is just go through that playbook and look at stuff you think is going to work. I don't think there's necessarily a die-hard plan of what you're going to do. You just want to keep moving the ball.
Game plan simple. Win it.
Right. Make plays. What's game plan, Coach? Make plays. Mount Carmel will kick it off to start the second half.
In the second quarter, Glenbard North did a great job of running a lot of time off that clock.
Ing and Warman are deep to receive to get the second half started. It will be a short kick, and that is taken by the tight end Montgomery at about his own 20-yard line, and he just puts his head down and starts running forward and carries it out to about the 32.
Well, we know Montgomery's big and strong, Jim, because he was the lead blocker on one of those touchdowns, so it's going to be real hard to bring him down.
We are at 103rd and Stony Island at Gately Stadium here on the city's south side. This is the home field for Mount Carmel, and they have packed that side of the stands. And the Glenbard North folks, I don't know, they may be getting some late arrivals from Carroll Stream, because that side of the field is filling up in the rain here on the south side. 1st and 10 from their own 31-yard line for the Panthers. Dahl, he'll carry it left. He has 2 tacklers to get by. He didn't get by either one of them.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get by either one of them.
Victor Alvarez coming up and making the stop.
And then if you get by Alvarez, look who else was right there. Filer was right there behind Alvarez, but they didn't let him turn that corner, because you let Dow turn that corner. We know he rushed for 115 yards in that first half.
We talk a lot, Kenny, about how down and distance is so important, and really Glenbard North, they've been picking off 5-6 yards on first down, and they've really given themselves an advantage as they call their subsequent plays, but that no gain, so it's 2nd down and 10. We haven't seen a lot of this. Watkins, he hands to Dahl, and he'll go the right side this time and picks up maybe 2 yards out to the 33-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd down and 8. So the Mount Carmel defense comes out on this first series they have in the field, and they put 3rd down and long on the Glenbard North offense.
That's exactly what you expect from a Mount Carmel defense. This is a good defensive squad, Jim. And they know that the running game has been working so far today for the Panthers, and they've played the run to start this 3rd quarter.
Glenbard North 5 of 7 on 3rd down so far, but they haven't had to deal with 3rd and long very much. They'll go to the shotgun, they'll spread everybody out.
Well, it looks like a blitz on the
Caravan rush 5. Watkins steps up, throws, complete. Ing has it at the 45-yard line. 1st down, Glenbard North.
Boy, Watkins got rid of that ball just as he was about to get hit. Looked like they showed a blitz on that corner. And again, Ing right there. Look at the corner. See them coming to blitz on the right side there, and he gets rid of it just as he's hit. And again, Ing standing right there, Jim, in the middle of the field, sees the seam, and he comes away with a big reception and a big 1st down for the Panthers.
And it's usually very key if you can come out of that first series, because you may get a 1st down because you change the field position as well.
Right. Well, they picked up that blitz. Alvarez came from that right corner.
Watkins will stay in the shotgun, but they bunch up the formation this time. Handoff to Dahl. Doesn't like it up the middle. Tried to bounce it outside and got maybe 2 yards to the 48-yard line before he ran into Alvarez and the rest of his friends.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to run it to his own man. Stopped, had the reverse, and picks up a real tough 2.
Steve Filer.
Boy, he has been the workhorse today, hasn't he?
Ran for well over 100 yards in the opening half.
2nd down.
115.
22 carries.
Well, the running game has really been working well for Glenbard North High School today, Jim. And that's what they're going to do. They just keep on the ground. It's been working. Throw in a pass here and there. We thought they would come out passing more. As you can see right now, look at Watkins looking at his wristband for the play.
And Dahl drops it on the turf. Ball is loose. The Caravan have it. And a recovery and a first down for Mount Carmel. Jeremy Johnson, the junior linebacker, comes up with it. And that for Mount Carmel, a huge play because it's the first time they've had a chance to get a turnover and get it in Glenbard North territory as a result.
Well, I don't think Dahl ever had possession. You know, on a handoff. I don't think he ever had possession of it. Jeremy Johnson right there to pick it up. Here it is again. Now you hand it to Dahl. See, he never had possession. And takes a nice one bounce right into the hands of Jeremy Johnson. And a big play there by the defense of the Caravan.
2 service breaks because of turnovers by Glenbard North in the first half. Mount Carmel gets one in the back. So now they have it. 1st and 10 in Glenbard North territory. Williams up the middle. Race for the end zone. He'll win it. Touchdown Mount Carmel. 38 yards of a touchdown run by Williams. Extra point to come to tie the game at 21. Whew.
Boy, is he quick? Is he quick or what? 38 yards for Williams.
And they will kick the extra point. Rodriguez is in to attempt.
Wow. 121 yards on the ground so far for Williams.
It was amazing how free he was once he got past the defensive lineman.
Well, they haven't been able to stop him all afternoon.
This is to tie it. And that kick is up, and this time it is good. Tie game at 21. And as the rain pelts down here at Gately Stadium, we're back to where we started, dead even.
Well, you talk about their 2,000-yard rushers in the backfield. The offensive line opens a quick hole, and Williams is so quick. It doesn't take much. You just give him a hole, and he just explodes. Watch how explosive he is. See, right here, watch the offensive line. You just give him a little hole, and boom, he's gone. He just takes off. He's off to the races. He outruns Ing there, who's tried to come over from the corner position, and you're not going to catch him. He just goes straight up the middle, and look at that offensive line. They just stand everybody up, and he's off to the races. Touchdown for Williams.
Very rarely can you run it in from 38 yards out and be untouched. Let's go to Eric Schmidt. Eric?
JB, we saw a little confidence boost for Nico Rodriguez there, too. The freshman, as we mentioned earlier, after missing the first extra point. He is, as we touched upon last week, a new kicker for this program. A.J. Nichols has been their normal kicker. He was injured in practice playing defense during the playoffs. Nico just brought up a couple weeks ago, really trying to boost the confidence, guys.
Yeah, that's a key thing, too, Eric. And we saw that in a game a couple of weeks ago for Wheaton Warrenville South, where a player dropped in the turf a couple times, made a couple mistakes. Coaches put him back in, and you never know when you're going to need to go back to those guys. So a big kick for Rodriguez. Warman chases it, and that will go into the end zone, and that will be a touchback. So Glenbard North, after turning it over their last possession, they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20. All right, time for a little trivia, Kenny.
Okay.
Mount Carmel is not the only team playing today at Gately Stadium with a former player currently in the NFL, named the Glenbard North grad who won a Super Bowl ring last February with the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, I know.
Oh. I know. We'll have the answer for you a little bit later on.
Now, can the Mount Carmel defense come up with another big play?
And they have
slow down the Panthers.
They have been stopping Glenbard North on 1st down here in the second half. Dahl, right side. That time has pretty decent yardage, maybe 3 yards. Noses it out to the 23-yard line, and every time a Mount Carmel tackle is made, you're usually seeing Steve Filer in on it, and he's joined by 4 or 5 white hats.
You know, I'm just going to say there was Filer again, showing that great lateral movement. You can line him up. He may line up on the right side, but he can certainly get over to the left side quickly. There you see the Notre Dame grad, probably the top defensive player in the state of Illinois. And what a great kid he is, too. He's also a basketball player, he's an honor roll student, just an outstanding young man. If you sit down and talk to him, he is just a great person.
2nd down and 7. Watkins, play fake. He rolls out, wants to go downfield. He's in trouble. Gets away from Kopak, still looking downfield. Nobody open, just has to dump the football. Incomplete, 3rd down and 7. And it certainly looks like whatever adjustments were made by the Mount Carmel coaches at halftime, as far as the defense is concerned, has worked.
And one thing they do also, the corners have done a great job of covering the receivers. He has nobody open. Then you see here's Kopak. He just gets away from Kopak. Then he just has to throw this away. So you really have to give the corners a great job by the corners of covering the receivers.
3rd down and 7. The Panthers all check the wristbands to see exactly what the play is and what the coverage is. Ing comes out to the left. Carl Garrick, who has been quiet, is in the slot to the left. 7 in the box for Mount Carmel. They rush 5. Watkins steps up, throws. Ing has it first. No, he dropped the ball in the turf. Incomplete. 4th down coming up. Glenbard North will have to punt. Dan Kochi, the junior, on the coverage.
Oh, Kochi right there with great coverage and a great hit there by Kochi. Watch where he throws this, Jim. He throws it to the spot. He throws it to the spot. He knows this man's going to get there. Ing is there, but Kochi with a great hit to knock the ball out.
Ing had it. He had the completion, but he came down and the ball was knocked away.
Right. I like the way Watkins threw it to the spot. He knew Ing would get there. He threw it to the spot. Ing, you get there. But what a great defensive play.
This will be a punt into the wind. Nearly blocked. End over end kick. This is going to roll down the field, and it will be picked up by Butler at the 40, and he is immediately tripped up at the 42. Warman makes the tackle. Mount Carmel coming out for their 2nd trip on offense here in the 2nd half. Okay, we talked about the DVC and how difficult it was all year. Well, look at this. 5 teams in the Catholic Blue. All 5 made the playoffs. St. Rita, by the way, still playing. They're still alive in the Catholic League playoffs. They will play Loyola tomorrow, right? So 3 teams in that league still alive this weekend, although 2 of them in the trying to work their way to the Prep Bowl. 1st down and 10 for Mount Carmel. Handoff, this time it's Williams. He tries the right side. He'll pick up 3 yards. Tackle made by Adrian Leal.
Yeah, Leal right there, Jim, plays off the blocker. That was the same play that Williams scored the touchdown on. They knew it was coming this time.
Boy, Kenny, it certainly looks like the Mount Carmel offensive line is just starting to tip the battle a little bit in their favor at the point of attack.
Well, you don't have 2,000-yard rushers in your backfield without having an outstanding offensive line.
Halfway through quarter number 3, we're tied at 21. Lynch, hands off, that will make that a pitch, goes outside, and Williams submarine by Warman, who came up from the corner to make the tackle. No gain in the play.
What a play by Justin Warman. Here it is again, watch this, on the pitch. Here's the pitch, now watch Warman. He's not blocked, look at this. Boy, reaches his hand out and just upends Williams.
Warman was actually in coverage on that play. Came up and made the tackle. Big play on defense for Glenbard North. Unfortunately for Glenbard North, they have had a tendency in this game to give up big plays. Mount Carmel comes up on 3rd down and 6. They are perfect on 3rd down so far in the game. 3 out of 3. Lynch keeps, pitches. This is Brown. Race for the corner, and where did he go out of bounds? That is the question. They are marking it close to a 1st down. Let's wait and see the spot. They're down in front of the Mount Carmel players. They mark it at the 49. It's going to be 4th down and a yard.
It's going to be 4th and a yard. He was very, very close. Here it is again. And you pitch that ball outside, and he comes around, and look who's there, the quarterback. In the pursuit, slows him up just a little bit. Boy, tell you what, Evan Watkins did a nice job. He just reaches out, Jim, with a hand just to slow him up just a little bit. And he's going to be a little short.
And Mount Carmel leaves Lynch on the field on 4th down and 1. And Kenny, I like this call, and I'll tell you why. Because you send a message if you're Frank Lundy to your offense that, you know what, I trusted you guys.
Yeah.
You have my confidence. 4th down and 1 for Mount Carmel. Lynch, hands off. Williams, he got close, but I don't know if he got it.
No.
Let's look at the spot. He has to get just to the Glenbard North side of the 48-yard line to have a first. And if the chains are accurate on the other side of the field, he's short.
Boy, he's going to be short. If the chain is accurate.
If the chain is accurate and if the lines are straight, he's short.
Here comes the chain.
Let's check it out.
He's short.
He is short.
He's short.
First down and 10 for Glenbard North from their own 48. They get a stop on defense.
Well, that may be the biggest play of the game so far for the Panthers.
And I have a funny feeling, Kenny, there's many more big plays coming up.
It has been a game of big plays.
And right now, the most important play that either team can get in this game is getting a stop on defense. Mount Carmel had one earlier this half when they had the fumble recovery. Glenbard North gets one. They stop Mount Carmel on downs.
Now let's see if the Panthers stick with the running game. The running game has been working all afternoon.
They will line it up in a shotgun. Dahl is right back in the backfield with Watkins. Dahl carries up the middle, has it across midfield to the 48-yard line before he stopped. And we'll call it a gain of 3 in the play. That brings up second down and 7.
That's the play they've been doing all afternoon, lining them up in the backfield with the Watkins out of the shotgun, and then he'll just hand it off to Dahl, who has been the workhorse this afternoon for the Panthers.
You know, Kenny, I'm somewhat surprised they didn't turn the lights on to start the second half. They don't have them on as of yet.
They don't have them on yet.
The way this is going, we may be here for a little while. 5.5 remaining in the third quarter. Second down and 7.
Saving that electric bill.
Watkins out of the shotgun again. He'll hand it to Dahl. Goes up the middle. Oh, boy, was he stuck. Stuck and thrown down. No gain of the play. What a defensive stick by Anthony Battle, the nose tackle.
Watch it again. Here it is again. Now watch as he comes on. Watch back. Just stand him up right there. Just stand him right up and then drives him right back. They're standing there waiting for him. Fights off his block and he stands him up and puts him down. Boy, what a big hit there by Battle.
No gain in the play, Kenny.
Well, they've been keeping the ball on the ground. Now it's 3rd and 7. But they're in a passing situation.
Well, they've lined up in a shotgun and they've handed it to Dahl twice. You would have to think that there are play fakes that go off of that.
Well, you got 3 wide to the right.
Watkins, he rolls to his right, has his tight end, but runs out of time. Stays on his feet. Now it's a scramble. Takes back and just throws it away. Incomplete. No receivers in the area. No flags down in the play.
Wow.
And you would, on a play like that, there's usually ineligible men downfield, but I do not see a flag.
Well, no receivers, and I think the Mount Carmel side, they want the intentional ground, and here it is again. He rolls to the right. He had 3 wide receivers to the right. Look at this. He breaks 2 tacklers. Then he comes around, stops, and he decides, hey, I got to get rid of this, but where is he throwing it? And there's nobody. There's no white shirts in the area.
Hackett will come in and punt it away. Now remember, he punted earlier on a 4th and 5. Mount Carmel couldn't come after him. Let's see what they do this time. Butler is deep to receive the kick at his own 20-yard line. High snap again. Pretty good kick. It's end over end. Butler takes it at his own 19-yard line, and he is taken down after a return of about a yard by John Unger.
Well, it's a good hustle and a good tackle there by Unger, Jim, because he ran down, and as soon as Butler caught that ball, Unger was right there. Well, here's another big hit of the game. Right here after the punt. What the hit? You can hear right there. John Unger with the big hit on the board.
So after a first half in which neither defense could stop the other, we have essentially had 3 defensive stops in a row. One of them on a turnover. Mount Carmel with the football. They have it at their own 24-yard line. This is Brown going up the middle, carries it out to the 28-yard line. He was hauled down by Charleston Soko.
But the Caravan loved that play, Jim, running right up the middle. You're taking it right to you. Following their center and their guards, they go right up the middle. That's the play that we saw Williams score that touchdown on. That's a play they love to run.
Caravan offense, they have the only score of this half. Their defense got a turnover. Williams ran it into the next play. Second down at 6. Lynch fell on the football. It's loose. Brown recovers back at the 22-yard line. A loss of about 6 on the play, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 12.
Oh, that could have really been dangerous for Mount Carmel. Brown. Here it is again. The handoff, not a good handoff, and Williams never got control of it. It looked like Lynch wanted to bring it back, and Brown saw it. It looked like he wanted to give it to Williams and bring it back, and Lynch just dropped it.
Soko was so close to making a recovery on that play, and that would have given Glenbard North outstanding field position.
And Jim, with an option like that with a wet football, it's not surprising you're going to see some mishandling.
From the 22-yard line, Brackett has been the target on plays like this. Down the sideline, Butler has it at the 40, spins away and out of bounds. He'll have a 1st down at the Mount Carmel 42-yard line.
Well, they've been looking for Brackett, as you said, but that time on the 3rd down completion, it went to Butler. He's down that sidelines for the 1st down. Here it is again. He'll fake the handoff, and he looks for Butler going to the right side there. And here it is again. Right there, you see Brett Butler picks up that 1st down.
Caravan moved the chains. Clock going, 2.5 left here in the 3rd quarter in an 8A semifinal game where it's all tied up at 21-21. Lynch. Hands off up the middle. That's Williams. No gain on the play.
It's called 37.
John Bone making the tackle.
Bone there, Rory Connell there. And again, that's what they like, Jim, up the middle. That's the play they love to run, especially with the Williams. Boy, what a fast 3rd quarter.
Well, we've seen a lot of running the football.
Let's go.
2nd down and 8 coming up. Butler is out to the left. Brackett is in the slot. Lynch, play fake, looks to throw, has Brackett wide open, complete. He's down at the Glenbard North 32-yard line.
Does anybody do a better job of getting open than Brackett? Boy, he does.
That was that inside-outside move again, right. Kenny.
You know, he goes inside, then he goes to the outside up to play action. He'll go inside, then he fakes, goes to the outside, and the defender goes for that first move, and he comes away with the reception.
And the play really made by Butler, number 15, because he ran his route and just sat down short. And that brought Montgomery with him, and it opened up Bracken behind him.
And Mike Fierro goes for that move toward the post.
1st and 10 from the 33-yard line, and we get movement along the offensive line, and Mount Carmel's going to back up 5.
And in games like this, you don't want mistakes.
Dead ball foul, false start on the offense. It remains 1st down.
You need almost mistake-free football, Jim, when you get to this point of the game, when you're playing a good team like Glenbard North.
You know, Kenny, I remember calling an 8A semifinal with you a few years ago, Lockport and Hinsdale Central, and that game went up and down the field all afternoon long.
Shootout.
I will say that was the most outstanding high school game I have ever seen. It's just unbelievable. Mount Carmel on 1st down and 15. Lynch rolls out. Bracken not open. Lynch throws. Almost caught. And it is caught. They rule it a catch by Jordan Morgan. He lost the handle on it. The ball bounced in the air one more time. He slid on the turf and fell underneath it. But if it wasn't raining, Kenny, he never makes this catch.
He never makes this catch. But look at this catch here by Morgan. See, he gets it, bounces it, doesn't hit the ground.
Now a flag goes down, and they're calling it incomplete.
They're calling it incomplete.
Let's get another look at it. Remember, no replay in high school football.
Well, but we have a replay here.
And Kenny and I have just acquired.
An eligible receiver downfield on the offense.
Okay.
It remains 1st down.
Okay, the eligible receiver downfield, but he makes the catch. So it's an eligible receiver. Here it is again.
Doesn't hit the turf.
It doesn't hit the turf.
No, it never hits the turf.
Boy, what concentration.
Again, Kenny, if it's not raining, he doesn't make that play because he doesn't slide that far.
What concentration, but unfortunately for the Caravan, if you're a Mount Carmel fan, an eligible man downfield. But that, my friends, may be the catch of the year. But he slides and keeps the eye on the ball. Unbelievable.
Instead of 1st And within 15 yards of a go-ahead score, Mount Carmel backed up to the Glenbard North 43-yard line, first down and 20. Pitched out, Brown, option play, downfield, Bracken wide open. Ball is thrown high and outside, incomplete.
Overthrown. Bracken has 4 catches for 97 yards this afternoon and did another great job of getting wide open, but the ball was just overthrown.
Kenny, second time we've seen this play this year, right?
Right, second time off the option. Brown, boy, he shows he has a great arm. Boy, look at the spiral, but he just overthrows them by a couple of steps.
They ran that play against St. Rita right before halftime on the final play of the half, and St. Rita returned it for a touchdown. And Andy Zielkowski informs that was the play that beat Joliet Catholic on the opening weekend at Soldier Field.
That beat Joliet Catholic.
21 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Second down and 20 for Mount Carmel. Their drive pushed back by a penalty. Lynch back to throw again. Starting to run out of time. Has to tuck it under and run. Takes it across the 40. He'll have a first down. And he takes it inside the Glenbard North 30 to the 28-yard line. Oh, check that. He got past the first yard marker, not the second.
Not the second one.
And that's what happens when you have that long of a way to go, Kenny.
Right.
Third down coming up, but still now you've got a third down play where you might be able to work it. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Well, not as wild as it was in the opening half, but still a lot to digest in this football game so far. Lynch scrambles out. He gives his team a chance to keep the ball on third down when we come back and start the fourth quarter on the Cn100 high school game of the week.
You're watching the Comcast Network, Cn100 Chicago.
With Comcast's 100% pure digital voice, internet, and cable TV network, enjoy the convenience of one provider for all your entertainment and communication needs. Experience Comcast superior services firsthand at the Woodfield or Fox Valley malls. Test the amazing speeds of Comcast high-speed internet with Power Boost for yourself and find out more about services included free with your subscription. Stop by our Woodfield and Fox Valley Mall locations today and get a special offer on service when you sign up at either location.
One quarter, and who knows, maybe more to go here at Gately Stadium today in this 8A semifinal game. Glenbard North and Mount Carmel, they have settled nothing so far. It's tied 21-21. Mount Carmel with the football, 3rd and 5 on the Glenbard North 28-yard line. I said before the game, Kenny, that I would call them Glenbrook North at least one time today.
Glenbard North. Well, I tell you,
John
Jordan
Shire
Lynch,
not out there.
Jordan Lynch really did a great job of running that last play of the third quarter.
Lynch, he will roll to his right. Bracken's on that side, but Lynch will keep it. He cuts in. He has a first down. He stood up at the 20-yard line, and it will be 1st and 10, Mount Carmel.
Well, he was stood up at the 20-yard line, but he got the first down. That's what he wanted. Again, we talked about how much he loves to run. Here it is again, off the fake, and he just follows the blocking to the right side. He just tucks that ball under Jim, and he's going for that first down. Marker gets that first down, cuts back to the inside. First down for Mount Carmel. Boy, what an outstanding job. A good running quarterback. He followed Derek Morrison to that right side to get that first down.
The rain, it's not hard rain. It's just a little bit of a steady, heavy drizzle, actually. Hand up the middle. Williams doesn't go very far. He did pick up about 2 yards in the play, however.
I think we're going to see a lot of that, Jim, because that's a play they run an awful lot to give their ball to Williams up the middle. He broke one for 38 yards up the middle. We know he does not need much room. Just give him a little hole, and Williams can take off.
Bracken goes out to the right on 2nd down and 8. They're on the 19-yard line. Big Jordan Morgan in the slot to the left. Lynch He'll go to his left. He pitches. Williams turns it up, takes it inside the 15-yard line before he's tripped up as he was trying to make his way to the end zone by Derek Grayman.
Yeah, and that's a nice tackle there by Grayman. Here you go, Jim, off the option. You're going to kick it back out there to Brown, and watch the tackle. That's a good open field tackle we've talked about before.
So 3rd down and 3 from the 14-yard line. Mount Carmel is going into the wind here in the 4th quarter. And remember, they have a freshman kicker, too.
Well, 3rd and 3.
Certainly, you give it 2 shots if you don't get it here. Lynch hit immediately, and he is essentially sacked all the way back to the 23-yard line.
Wow.
But they'll rule him down. Wow, they rule him down at the 19.
Charleston Soko. Here it is again. Charleston Soko. Nobody blocks him. He comes in untouched, and as soon as Lynch gets the ball, he drives him back.
Lynch is lucky he hung on to the football there, Kenny. 4th down and 8 coming up.
Because Soko had a clean shot. Nobody picked him up. And as soon as Lynch gets the snap, he's right there on him.
Well, first time this quarter, we'll say this might be the play of the game. 9.5 left. 4th and 9 from the Glenbard North 20-yard line. Lynch, straight drop back, looks, throws, incomplete, no flags. Morgan wants a call, no call is coming. Glenbard North gets a stop on 4th down. The Caravan fans, coaches cannot believe it.
Jordan Morgan wanted the flag. Here it is again. Lynch going to Morgan at the post pattern, going towards the post. There's a lot of contact. Wow, and that's the quarterback, Evan Watkins, the quarterback on the coverage. So you had the Panthers quarterback, Evan Watkins, on the coverage. A lot of contact, and the Mount Carmel coaches wanted interference.
Glenbard North's turn to have the football. They have 9:20 on the clock in the tie game.
Well, Evan Watkins, we knew he was a great quarterback, Jim, but he's also had an outstanding job in the defensive backfield.
Dahl runs into his own man and then runs into the Mount Carmel defense, runs into Glenn Foster and Jeremy Johnson.
Yeah, but you know what? He ran into Jeff Jones first. He ran into his own man, Jeff Jones.
Let's go to Eric Schmidt. Eric?
Thanks, JB. I'm joined by 1967 Prep Bowl quarterback for Mount Carmel, Denny Connell. You went on to play at Michigan. I can't believe you're here today. Michigan, Ohio State, and you're here?
Well, it's a love between both schools, but I've got a boy that's playing here at Mount Carmel. My oldest son played, I played, and when it comes to Mount Carmel, this is a family situation, so you got to go with the family.
Well, and that's true. Your son Rory's on the team this season. And what is it about Mount Carmel that brings so many generations of people coming?
It's just what I said. It is a family atmosphere, and they welcome families. It's the legacy of families. I've had an uncle that came from the 30s, and my brothers and my cousins, and everybody went to Mount Carmel. And it's the similar story you're going to hear in and out. It's families went to Mount Carmel, and they stayed there.
Such a great football tradition, too. But this school teaches so more than just football. What does it do to prepare these young men for life?
Oh, it does everything. The saying there is, if you choose to come here and stay and work, you'll come in as a boy and you'll leave as a man. And that's what families want you to have. They want their sons to know that they're in good hands, that they're going to get educated, and they'll go on and be better citizens.
Denny, thanks so much for the time. It's always great to talk to the alums here. You too.
Blue.
Thanks, Denny.
And on 3rd down and 15, after a huge sack by Jeremy Johnson, Watkins flings it incomplete. Glenbard North will have to punt with 7:47 remaining in the 4th. And this is the sack.
Watch Jeremy Johnson. Watch Jeremy Johnson come in. He comes in from the right side, and he just takes Watkins down. As it gets up, but yeah. I don't think he's excited.
By the way, Kenny, the rain coming down harder now than it has at any point during the game. And if there's ever a chance you want to go for a block, it's right here on 4th and 15. Hackett back to punt. Mount Carmel sets up the return instead. Butler gets it at the 48-yard line, has some blocking, takes it to the near side. He's to the 35-yard line, and then driven out of bounds at the 34. Mount Carmel in a tie game will start at the Glenbard North 34 with 7.5 minutes remaining. Our trivia question.
Field position for Mount Carmel.
And it has to do with Glenbard North football. And the question is this. Name the Glenbard North grad who won a Super Bowl ring last February with the Indianapolis Colts. Answer is Ryan Deem, the offensive lineman.
Well, you know what? The Panthers' last 4 possessions: fumble, punt, punt, and punt. The defense of the Caravan have really risen to the occasion.
And now the offense with a chance to try with a short field to get the lead. 1st and 10. Lynch rolls, pitches. Brown cuts it inside. Not much there. Got maybe a yard before he was driven to the turf by Derek Grayman.
Well, I tell you what, Brent Butler was very fortunate not to get a block in the back, because it looked like Butler came very close.
So after
again, Glenn, Jim, now watch Butler after the pitch, almost a block in the back, but they don't call it.
After an offensive show in the opening half, we have only seen 7 points here in the second half. Clock creeping up on 7 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter in a 21-21 game. Winner of this game plays for the 8A title next Saturday night in Champaign against Naperville North. Handoff, first man through. Williams, good hole, carries it down to about the 28-yard line. That will bring up 3rd down and 4.
Well, that's the play they love to do, go straight up the middle. That's the play, Jim. They will run it, and again, you're able to get it open, too, because we saw how Williams scored on that same play.
And I will guarantee you again, 2-down territory for Mount Carmel.
No question about it. You're inside the 30-yard line, you have to.
Yeah, even with a good kicker under these conditions, forget it. Now this game is turning out like one more score might be enough. Handoff, pitch on the turf, it's loose, and it's picked up by Watkins, the quarterback. Watkins down the sideline, 2 men to beat. He goes out of bounds at the 28-yard line. No flags down in the field, and another wild turnaround in this game, and it's Glenbard North that has the football deep in Mount Carmel territory after a 37-yard return by Evan Watkins.
Well, I had just said earlier that Watkins is not only a good quarterback, but he's had an outstanding job being in the defensive backfield. And he picks this fumble up. Here it is again. This is the pitch. That's a live ball. That's a lateral. And look at this. Here's your quarterback. Evan Watkins picks it up and runs down 37 yards, and the Panthers in good field position.
On the depth charts we were given to prepare for this game, Watkins appears nowhere on the defense.
Nowhere.
We see this every year, Kenny. When you get down to this level of play, the coaches start to put their best players out there, especially in tight games. And Watkins makes a big fumble recovery.
And he's had an outstanding job, both offensively and defensively.
Glenbard North's turn. Dahl, he'll try the right side, just goes through the hole and picks up 3 yards. As he tried to slide through, he was pulled down from behind, essentially, by Brett Kepchak.
Well, and that's what they do. They've been doing this all afternoon, Jim, with the run. Get a couple of big plays, but basically they've just been getting 3 yards here, 4 yards there, get a first down, move the chains, run the clock. Very, very impressed with this Panther offense.
Ing is out to the left. The tight end is number 88, Jim Montgomery.
You know what? You had an equipment malfunction.
And they have an official timeout.
The official's going to call a timeout.
And that is Jordan Brooks, the fullback. And, well,
it's going to come out?
Yeah.
There he is. Can't get it right. Can't get that helmet.
So they're going to have to make a switch, and Billy Schwartz will come into the game. Boy, you hate to lose your for any reason, you hate to have a starter go out of the lineup, even if it's just for a play. 2nd down, and the scoreboard says 9. I'm going to say closer to 8, just to be accurate. Watkins will give to Dahl, tries the middle, nothing there.
Nothing.
Did get the football down to the 25-yard line, so it's a gain of 2, 3rd down and 6.
Not much there. This Caravan defense playing the run. Glenn Foster at the bottom of that pocket.
Well, and Do you try a field goal from here? If you don't get it, you would be looking at a 41-yarder, but it would be with the wind.
With the wind, though.
Glenbard North 6 out of 11 on 3rd down. Garrick is out to the left. Ing comes out to the right.
Huge play.
Schwartz.
5 minutes.
Schwartz stays in the game, and Schwartz getting a little extra instruction, and they are going to have to call timeout.
Yep.
Oh, too much time.
They didn't get the timeout.
They didn't get it off in time. So there is an example. The equipment problem turns out to result in a penalty.
We have a dead ball foul, delay of game on the offense. It remains 3rd down.
Schwartz had to get a little bit of extra instruction from Watkins on the play, and it results in a 5-yard walk-off.
And the clock's not stopping.
No,
they didn't stop the clock.
We got all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, they got to stop the clock. You got the clock back to 4:23 now.
Well, we got all sorts.
Now we're going to have a timeout taken by Glenbard North.
Kenny, now we have the chance. We want to tell folks that local prep fans are telling us they are enjoying our new sports feature, Game Buster 5. Game Buster 5 is Comcast's recognition of the top 5 impact plays from Cn100's high school game of the week, and it's available only on Comcast On Demand. Look for crucial scoring plays. We've had a few in this game. Big hits, yep, check that. Great catches, even though it didn't count, and game-busting turnovers. We got it all covered in this one. If you make the Game Buster 5, you've done something truly special for your team. Catch a new Game Buster 5 every week on demand, only on Comcast. Be sure to check cn100.tv for all the details. Let's go to Eric Schmidt. Eric?
Hey, JB, I know Kenny mentioned it earlier today, but I'm on the field with some of these guys in this trickling rain right now. Got to give a shout-out to all our crew down here on the field. Gary McGowan, Bill Funches, Peter Lilly, Artem Okuluk, Adam Caesar, J.R. Strickland. I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody, but these guys have been doing it all season long. It's our last game of the year. It's our last chance to say thanks. Not only do they make us look good, they make these players look good. These players get a great chance with the skill of our guys to get great recruiting tapes. Just a chance to say thanks, guys.
All right, Eric, 3rd and 11, play fake. Watkins in trouble. On his feet, gets rid of it, out of bounds. And it will be 4th down and 11 from the 30.
Great pressure by the Mount Carmel defensive front. I tell you what, Brent Kopak was right there. Heard it again, Jim. Watch the run. He moves, nothing open. He corners all over the receivers. He has pressure. He just had to throw it away.
Okay, they trot Hackett onto the field.
Wow.
The ball is sitting just shy of the 30. Remember, he's the punter, though, too, and he's got the tee. So he is going to set this tee down just past the 37-yard line. It is going to be a 48-yard attempt for a field goal with 4:16 remaining.
Could you boots punt it also here?
Well, you could do all sorts of things, and if you've got to drive it, he is going with the wind. From 48, blocked. The Caravan, they cover it up. They will get the football with 4:09 remaining.
Steve Filer picked it up. Let's see if we can pick out who blocked it.
And Hackett just never got any air underneath that thing.
Well, after a big Caravan fumble, the defense rose to the occasion, and we're still tied at 21 with 4 minutes to go. And you get a good look at the All-American Steve Filer. Just never got up, Jim. Never got up. Who gets the big paw up there? From that angle, it's hard to tell.
Boy, didn't go off of one of his own guys. Hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
Mount Carmel with the ball. 4:09 remaining.
Yeah, I don't think they got up to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe the last time the Caravan get the ball in the game, and that is picked off. Tipped and picked off by the Panthers. They'll get it back at the Mount Carmel 45, making the play on defense, and he's been there all day long making big plays. Justin Warman.
Justin Warman's had an outstanding game in the defensive backfield for the Panthers. Boy, you put that up there. Warman went up there, wrestled that ball down. Here it is again. He puts it up. Now watch Warman come over, and he has to go up, tip, and right into his hand.
Intended for Jordan Morgan. He got his hands on it, could not hang on. And by getting a hand on it, put just enough air underneath it so Warman could come in and make the play. 4:04 remaining. Glenbard North gets it back. What a wild second half. And we saw a great first half with a lot of scoring. We've seen a wild second half with only 1 touchdown. And that was a 38-yard run. Pitch back. Watkins. Ing. He's open. He's at the 10. Ball comes down.
What
touchdown. Glenbard North. They have the lead. 27-21. 3:57 remaining.
Well, we talked about his arm. He showed it there, Jim. 45 yards. Perfect spiral on the pitch back.
What a throw by Watkins, right on the money.
Oh, that was a perfect throw. And what a catch there, too, by Ing.
But still plenty of time for Mount Carmel. Hackett in to attempt the extra point. And this is an incredibly important extra point.
Huge.
His last kick kind of knuckleballed out. That kick is low, and it is good.
Oh, barely made it.
28-21. Glenbard North has the lead. Mount Carmel about to get the ball back. What a game. What a play. And so many things almost happened in this play. Kenny, watch Steve Filer come up the middle.
Yeah, well, here it is again. You pitch it back, and boy, what a throw, because he almost was brought down. And what a catch. What a great catch there. Demetrius Carr almost brings him down, but look at how he throws this ball. That's 45, 50 yards in the air, on the money.
He put a lot of air underneath that thing, and that thing was just right on the money.
Right on the money.
A wild ride for the Panthers over the course of the last month. They had to win their final game of the year against West Aurora just to get into the playoffs. And now, if they can get a stop on Mount Carmel with 3:57, they very well might be playing in a rematch against a DuPage Valley Conference member, Naperville North, in next Saturday night's title game.
Well, Jim, the Caravan, their last 5 possessions, a touchdown, they're out on downs, a fumble, and an interception. So they opened up this half with the touchdown, but it's been all downhill after that.
But they have plenty of time left, and they have all their timeouts, but they will be driving into the wind and into the rain. Hackett with the win. Drives it into the end zone. Touchback. Mount Carmel will start from their own 20-yard line.
Boy, do you think he's pumped up? Did he get everything into that one? Boy, what a play, that flea flicker. I mean, he put it up in the air. Just beautiful. What a pass. Well, now it's time for Lynch and the crew to go to work. And they have had a lot of success today going up and down the field.
And based on the time remaining on the clock, they have the full playbook at their disposal. Lynch comes out with only Williams in the backfield. Lynch gets hit, can't get rid of it, and he's driven backwards and sacked. Soko making the play on defense.
Oh, that's the second time that Soko's come in untouched. That's the second time, Jim. He did it the last possession. Here it again. Watch Soko right there coming in from the right side of the screen. He comes in absolutely untouched. Nobody touches him, and he drives him back.
Give credit to Lynch for just hanging on to the football on that play. That is a loss of 3 yards back to the 17.
Wow, that's twice that Soko comes in untouched.
The key thing here, the clock marches. 3:15 remaining. Second down and 13 from their own 17 for the Caravan. Brown back in the backfield. Lynch hands to Williams, and he almost broke that tackle. He was grabbed by the shoe at the line of scrimmage by Steve Friedberg. Friedberg just hung on. He made the tackle, but it is a gain of about 5 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, Friedberg hangs on for dear life to bring Williams down. That's the play that Williams likes, right up the middle, Jim. You know, we saw him break one, 38 yards earlier today.
Ball sits on the 22-yard line.
Oh, big 3rd down.
Huge 3rd down. 2:35 remaining. Lynch rolls, pitches, another flea flicker. Throw to the sideline to Butler, complete 1st down. That was a little halfback option play that was, all right, I'm not going to throw it. Oh, you know what? We got a long way to go. I'm going to throw it anyway. And Butler was standing right there on the sideline.
Yeah, it looked like he wasn't going to throw it. Here's it again. You'll pitch it back. Here it is again. You pitch it back to Brown.
Nope, not going to throw it.
Nope, I'm going to throw it. Hey, he's open first down. The Caravan, and of course, that halfback option in their playbook. They like to use it when they have it open.
I got news for you. That was a pretty good throw.
That's a very good throw.
First down and 10 from their own 34-yard line for Mount Carmel.
Well, he throws that moving.
2:22 remaining.
What a ball game.
Lynch back to throw, takes a look, wants Bracken, runs out of time. He has to scramble out. He has all sorts of people chasing him. If he can get away, he's got people downfield because everybody's rushing for Glenbard North, and he finally runs out of time at his own 26-yard line. Well, staying with it and making the tackle was Kyle Schwetz.
Yeah, Kyle Schwetz stayed with him. But you know what? There's only so much you can ask your quarterback to do. You know, you only can be open for so long. He was running around for a long time. Here it is again. He goes this way. He wants to throw it. Said, nope, nothing there. I'll go back this way. Then he goes back to the right side. There's nothing there. A little fake. Goes to the outside. And finally, he's brought down.
Timeout called by Mount Carmel. 2:04 remaining on the clock. We have a 2nd and 18 from Mount Carmel's own 34-yard line coming up. As Eric mentioned just a moment ago, this wraps up our coverage of football for the high school game of the week for this season on Cn100. And don't forget, coming in December, we go inside, we go to the basketball court. Game of the week tips-off coverage of the 07-08 high school basketball season right here on Cn100, the Comcast Network. For exact game information, visit our website on cn100.tv. And remember, if you want to see more high school football action tonight on Comcast, go to Channel 8. Our friends at Channel 50 will have the Lamont Oak Forest semifinal game on later this evening. So 7 o'clock start for that one. And of course, all the high school championship games on wall-to-wall coverage next weekend.
Well, one thing about basketball is inside.
Yeah, we don't get rained on.
It is a little cold outside.
Right,
what a game.
Right now, none of the seats in Gately Stadium being used. Everybody on their feet for 2nd and 18 for Mount Carmel, their own 26-yard line. Lynch, option, gives. Brown gets to the corner, gets to the 30, and he's taken out of bounds. That will stop the clock.
Well, he's able to get out of bounds. Ing drove him out of bounds, but he was able to turn that corner. Here it is again, Jim. What do you want to do? He wants to turn this corner. Here's the pitch. He turns that corner. He breaks the tackle here, and he's finally driven out of bounds by Ing.
3rd down and 12 coming up from the 32. 2 plays to get 12 yards. Mount Carmel used 1 timeout. They have 2. Is that enough to punt it away and try and get it back?
Boy, and look who's on the field on the defensive end. The quarterback, Watkins, and the running back, Dahl. Your best players playing defense.
Lynch, he rolls, he looks, he pitches it to Brown. He gets past the 35, and he's driven out of bounds at about the 37, which will bring up 4th down and about 8.
Well, big 4th down play here. Here it again. Goes to the right side, Jim. He gets the pass back to Brown. Brown just actually had nowhere to go. And again, Ing, again, doing a great job with the pursuit. And Adrian Leal also there driving him out of bounds.
1:51 remaining. Mount Carmel 0 for 2 on 4th downs in this game. They have 4th and 7 from their own 37. Two timeouts left for Mount Carmel.
And again, Dahl and Watkins in there playing defense.
Lynch swings it out. Brown has it, and he gets taken down in the backfield by Warman at the 34-yard line. Glenbard North gets it back with 1:46 remaining.
Well, I don't know who our player of the game may be, boy, but I tell you, it wouldn't surprise me if Justin Warman gets a lot of votes, because this young man has been absolutely superb defensively for the Panthers. Here it is on the swing, and watch Warman, open field tackle, doesn't let him get away, read the play perfectly. Here it is again. Warman comes in from the corner position, wraps him up, brings him down, and the Panthers get possession of the game, of the ball.
To put this thing away, Glenbard North is going to need at least 1 first down.
Good. What a performance by Watkins on offense and defense. He also had Tyler Dahl in there on defense.
Okay, Kenny, can I say it?
Yes.
If this isn't 3 runs, then something is really wrong.
I would tend to agree. Here's number 1.
Dahl carries it. He's over the 30, and he'll push it down to about the 27-yard line, stays in bounds.
And that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to stay in bounds.
Clock stops with 1:39 remaining after Mount Carmel calls timeout. 2nd down and about 4 coming up. 1 more timeout remaining for Mount Carmel. And I go back, Kenny, I mentioned the Lockport-Hinsdale Central game we did years ago. It was a situation similar to Hinsdale Central. They had the ball, turned the ball over, and that 1 remaining timeout was enough for Lockport to take it the other way and go downstate for what would turn out to be the first of 2 consecutive state championships.
Now, the Panthers need good clock management, no mistakes.
The key thing is they want Mount Carmel to have to burn that final timeout.
That's the key.
If they get a 1st down, then you're in great shape. Dahl with the carry up the middle. He goes across the 25-yard line by about maybe 6 inches, and Mount Carmel will burn that final timeout. 3rd down and 1 coming up.
And that's exactly what they wanted Mount Carmel to do, force them to burn.
21, Glenbard North has the ball. 3rd down and 1 from the Mount Carmel 25-yard line. Mount Carmel with 9 guys in the box. Dahl with the carry. He has the 1st down.
He's able to get by Filer.
Goes down to the 22-yard line, and that is going to do it.
Did you see Filer came in blitzing? He was able to get by Filer. The 14th seed. Here it is again. See Filer right there, number 44? Gets right by Filer. Filer was untouched, but he's able to get by Filer and get the 1st down. Dahl has been tremendous all afternoon. He's been a workhorse. And your 14th seed is going downstate
for an all-DVC 8A championship game between Glenbard North and Naperville North. And Watkins takes a knee, is taken down, and the clock now goes under a minute. What an unbelievable ride for the Glenbard North Panthers.
Oh, this is unbelievable. Your 14th seed.
Naperville North 37, Glenbard North 7.
But that doesn't mean a thing now.
No, it doesn't. You got 1 shot. You got 48 minutes. A chance of winning a state title.
Because this team has peaked at the right time.
1 more kneel down by Watkins, and that's going to be it. The clock now will run down from 15 seconds, and what an unbelievable turn of events. We saw a marvelous offensive first half. It was the defenses that ruled in the second half. Glenbard North only scored once in that second half, and they had to go to the gadget book to get it, but they win it by a final score of 28-21. Glenbard North advances. Mount Carmel finishes the season with only 1 loss. We're back to wrap it up from Gately Stadium after this timeout on Cn100.